People
tough.
buy houses in Bath and Piermont for choice in their schools, and it's.
Well,
definitely
that's come up for conversation more than
I
once
respect
too.
that,
I don't know
understand
how long that'll last. Right now, that's the way it is, but you never know. So, anyway, it's, at best, I would say it's a fluid situation. It could change, from one year to another.
So I would ask, I mean, we need a couple of motions, I think. One relative to tuition arrangement right now. And if we want to make any changes to the 17, 18, like we were just talking about the 7th and 8th grade, I don't know why we shouldn't do it now. Give
Right, that way it
plenty
gets
of time to
gets
plan,
done.
and then we won't be here next March trying to tell people what they're
So I'd make a motion that we realign the 7th and 8th grade tuition rates to reflect what they are for all the districts,
starting
all the grades, with the same discounts, starting next budget season.
17, 18.
17, 18 school year. And that we adopt the tuition rates as proposed by Dr. LaPlante, the high school, middle school, and elementary school rates.
Moved and seconded. Everybody catch all that?
So, without any numbers in front of us, we know how good our numbers are. I have qualms with the Benton piece, just because doing it all at once will affect them, and we haven't even looked at how it's going to affect them, or, I mean, we're just assuming that they're always gonna send their kids here.
We're not talking about this year.
I know.
Okay. Or, I mean, not even next year, the year after.
And we're still gonna give the discount, just not a special
Expressing my
discount.
concern.
Yeah.
So,
What's your,
Well, if it's
4 or 5 kids,
I'd like it split
6,000.
into two different votes. The tuition rate and the Benton piece into two
Well,
different votes.
I mean, we can
So,
Can you split
vote
that?
on the motion.
Can you split your
and
motion?
If it
into
doesn't
two?
pass, then, I mean,
All right.
Can I just throw one
still think
thought out?
Sure, why not?
Well, it strikes me that you have a different, and I'll even call it a special relationship with Benton. Benton sends everybody to you, so you get 100% of theirs. That you might want to think in terms of maintaining what you've got with them. Benton is a tiny little town, and everything that they spend is on tuition, basically. Unlike the other school districts that split up their populations and send them all over the place, and you're competing for them, you've got kind of a walk on Benton. But I would be remiss if I didn't tell you, at their meeting the other night, someone said, well, if the rates change a lot, we probably should look to see if we have alternatives. I mean, I think, so just so you're aware, I don't know how you do that other than break them off and do something separate with them, but I just think because they send 100% of the kids and they have for several years.
and they get a pretty good discount.
They get a
because
good
of that.
discount, and they appreciate it, but what they're hoping is they have stability, like you're looking for stability, they're looking for stability in their rates, that they're not gonna go all of a sudden jump way up in the
I'll
air.
redact my motion if Sarah redacts the second.
Sure.
And then what I would say is that we should get all this data in front of us and reevaluate it and look at exactly, so I mean, Benton probably has 4 or 5 kids in 7th and 8th grade. And you're talking probably $2,000 per kid, so it's a kind of a $10,000, $11,000, I mean, just a rough estimate amount that it would go up in their tuition rate, which,
If you set the rates tonight, because that wouldn't change, if you
Right,
set
for
the
this current
rates,
year.
and then then you look at the data, I can get you all kinds of different
right,
stuff
we have all
to look
summer
at.
to look at.
Yeah, and then you
really
can look
before
at
next budget
how
season.
you might do the package. You could even do it differently for different places. But setting a rate now gives us stuff that we can then tell, this is the rate for next year, the people that need to know.
So
What I
I'd
would think about is maybe have the grade by grade the same for everybody, including Benton, but then we could tack on another thing that said, if you send 100% of all your kids in every grade, K through 12, there'll be an additional whatever. Because I don't know about making something special with a name attached to it, but if we think of that as a
I mean, at
a
the same
policy.
time, Benton has no other school costs other than transportation and their special ed costs.
That's
And,
special ed.
it's a significant savings for them. But I do understand their plight, so.
Well, they got a
So
big hit
did you
this year
second,
with special
or
ed.
She did.
Jack, you second? So I make a new motion that we accept the tuition rates as presented by Dr. LaPlante for the high school, middle school, and elementary school.
second.
Okay, moved and seconded to accept the rates that we just heard about. 7th and 8th grade stay the same. Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? Okay. And we're down here.
Wildly exciting. I will tell you on the propane tank, we are having a problem with one boiler at the elementary school. That they're hoping to figure out. The engineer's looking at it and driving them crazy. It keeps shutting down. And I told Bert today that this can't be the only place that has this size burner and this kind of a configuration. And they can make them run everywhere else. They gotta figure out why this one keeps stopping. So he's gonna get back to him again. But, I mean, they're still working on it. It has to do with the length of pipe, the size of the pipe from the tank to the burner. Once it calls to ignite, one valve opens up and sends gas into the pipe. And if it doesn't light, it's got 4 seconds to light. If it doesn't light, it shuts off. It doesn't recycle and try again. That's it. It stops. In a smallest, this is on a boiler that's rated at 1 million BTUs. If it's for boilers that are smaller than that, you have up to 10 seconds before it stops. And it's just too many times, the 4 seconds doesn't seem to be enough, but that's the code, and that's the problem they're having. So they're talking about maybe moving the valve up closer to the igniter, and a crazy problem, but.
Does not sound like
Yeah,
rocket science there.
They were, well, I know, but they've already moved them once, and it didn't do anything, so they're still wrestling with this issue.
Did anybody print out the updated agenda? I'm still using the paper one that was sent to me. Language was supposed to be in there.
Number
somewhere.
7,
Number 7?
supposed to be language program in HCMS.
Okay, we'll, thank you. We'll come back to that now, after. These got sent out before and they've forgotten to ask for changes. Thank you.
But I've heard about it.
Okay. Did you want to finish your,
I had something, yeah.
that's all you have?
I'd just like to add something to Dr. LaPlante's. Just so everybody knows, Mr. Fortier had a serious accident over the weekend. He's broke some ribs and something else, and he's not going to be able to present for the Strategic Facilities Committee at the district meeting and at the first public forum. So as the vice chair, and we're going to have a discussion on Wednesday, but he's asked me to pick up the ball on this one, so there's a good chance that I'll have to look through his PowerPoint and everything and try to do the presentations for him. Just so, everybody knows.
How's he doing?
He was at he called me and he didn't sound too good, but he was able to talk. He called me on Sunday and we talked about it, so. And, but he definitely, there was something else that he fractured, I don't remember just what it was.
His clavicle.
What's that?
His clavicle.
Clavicle, that's what it was, yeah. But I think the ribs are a bit more significant. But he said he was lucky. So.
What's that? I do, it's gonna come up in one of the principal reports.
Did you want to talk about the principal search committee process? Send me a report that you wanted to talk about that.
Well, that was written before we got to where we got. I'm really not involved in those searches. I'm not on the committee. But I sort of suggested a process, and it's not the same process that I'd suggested, which is fine. But it sort of is running away from me. I'm not directly involved in all the things. There was a meeting that I really didn't know was happening till after it happened. And again, I'm not on the committee, so I don't really need to know that, but I'm not in a position to really be making a lot of suggestions or offering you information, because I don't really know where we are. I do know we have two separate committees, and the high school principal posting is closed. There are a number of applicants for both, and they've looked at some of the people for the high school position. I really don't know where they are with the elementary one at this point.
Do we have board members on the elementary one?
I think there are board members on both of them.
I've not heard a thing about the elementary.
They're not, I don't think it's set up yet.
So, I mean, that's,
Or it may be almost set up. You're-
This week, yeah, I'm chairing the elementary one, and there's a number of people that have indicated an interest before pulling the committee together, we want to meet with the elementary staff, and, but I'll be following the process similar to the high school, and contacting people before this week is out.
So you're gonna use the same process that Lori had given us for the high school?
Very similar.
Very similar.
Slightly different, very similar.
That's all, I just wanted to see where everything was. They're just important places, positions. Thank you.
Did anyone else want to be on that
I guess,
committee? I haven't.
just to let everybody know, I thought we had a pretty good turnout with that, with the applications. I thought we got a few good applications to look at
For the high school.
for the high school position, yeah. Just so you feel optimistic about it.
And we do have board members on the elementary school one.
Well, Michelle and I for sure. If
Oh.
anybody else wants to jump, we can have three, I
I
think.
find it a very interesting process, so.
I just want to make sure there was somebody.
So, just out of curiosity, if language is number 7, what was number 9?
Number 9
Yep.
was the review of the calendar.
Okay, so everything just moved up. Just wanted to make sure it went the way. So we are going to revisit 7, which wasn't on my list, and that's the language in, primarily in the middle school. And we want to kind of see where we are with that process. And has there been any discussion or progress in that aspect?
On the elementary search?
No, I'm sorry. We've changed
Oh,
gears.
language.
Foreign language in your school primarily. Has there been any movement toward getting that accomplished?
Not at this point. The superintendent and I had some conversations on Friday about that. We haven't structured how that process would move ahead. We probably should discuss what the options are further.
Yeah, my understanding is that there's been some communication between one of the teachers and the board.
Right, there was, Ms. Valancourt presented some ideas a couple months ago now. And just, where did that go after that?
It fell, nothing has happened.
Well, we don't want it to fall, I guess is our point.
Oh, I know, but it's not it was not my
Right,
decision.
yeah,
It's
she's-
We
your
understand.
folks'
I'm not-
decision
I'm
that-
not looking at you
nothing
that
has
way.
happened, so.
Understand. So, are you familiar with the proposal that we had seen? I mean,
Well,
I've
I don't
actually
think,
seen-
we
I don't
didn't
think
see
we see it,
anything in
so
writing, and
hopefully-
I guess the question is, are the administrators waiting for the board to make some sort of decision or proposal, or are you going to bring us a proposal?
Maybe I should jump in here.
Several different ideas.
Yeah, let me start at least, then we'll go from there. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth undoubtedly, so I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings. But there have been levels of communication that have gone on between different people, and I've not been privy to it all, so, and I've heard little pieces of it, but I don't know the whole picture. So, when I come to a board meeting, if I'm now asked to, well, so where are we with this? I don't know where we are, because you need to work through me. If I'm gonna be involved with it and direct it, I need to know what you want me to do. The last conversation I remember with the board on this topic was, we've got no changes in the budget relative to personnel at the high school and world language department, but there is a continuing lack of enrollment at the high school